Welcome guys to our Saturday night live thrift and junking haul. We're back in our kitchen. We had some older kids that didn't feel like babysitting. So.
Yep, they're off doing stuff, so we are here in our old house. Well, it's not old. It will be old soon enough. Hang on, I'm going to adjust this.
If you're new to our channel, we go live every Saturday night at 8:30 Mountain Time with our junk haul. We also have DIY videos, farmhouse stuff, farmhouse renovation videos. So hit that subscribe and notifications button if that's something you like.
All right, we're going to jump into it. We had a bunch of thrift store stuff. Jami went to a barn sale, which I'm not allowed to talk about.
We can talk about the barn sale. I spent a little bit of money and maybe filled up the truck, but we actually don't even have. We only have one item in this whole haul from the barn sale. Everything else is at the shop. It was all huge stuff that we couldn't take home.
Yeah, like doors and big mirrors and things like that. So you'll see it eventually, but it's not here tonight. All right, little bird cage, $5. Normally, Jami would take these things out, but I think she's opting for this little. It looks like
it's an orb.
It looks like some sort of grass. I want to say alfalfa, hay. You know,
I don't know.
Some sort of ball in here. Let me bring it close so you can see it good.
So that was $5 and it'll sell for about $20 with the orb. And all I'm going to do is probably just dust it. It doesn't need a paint job. It's super cute. We're trying to find lots of stuff that doesn't need work because we have our grand opening on October 26th. And we are expecting a couple hundred people to show up, and I need to have stuff for them to buy. So
sorry,
I've been shopping like a mad lady. Sorry, Zeb's fixing the camera. It's not centered on his tripod.
All right, now I think it's better.
Oh, Debbie's here.
All right, we also have a basket, or what?
I was just going to say Debbie's coming. So if you're going to be here, you'll get to meet Debbie next weekend. And we do have a class. When Kaylin comes in, I'll have her drop the link to the event page for the grand opening and for our class the following Monday. So, okay, there you go.
All right, basket. This was not from our usual thrift store. We found it at a place where we used to think was a charity thrift shop, but that seems to have gone, and now it's something different. And
some like madman's junk. I don't know.
That guy was fun though. He was fun to talk to. He was wheeling and dealing.
The thrift store, if you're local to Utah, is in Pleasant Grove's kind of older downtown area.
It's called Uglies or something.
Uglies, yeah. I don't know, but he was funny. He's like, you can steal stuff, just put it in your pockets as long as it's small. I don't care. I was like, I'm probably not going to, but thanks.
Yes. He's just randomly saying the most weird things. I loved it. It was awesome. But this is already kind of the right shade of farmhouse green. We might add a little white wax or something to it. I don't know.
I'm not paying that. It came, how much was that? It was $6, but it also came with a little mini basket.
Yep. So it also came with its friend right here, which this is more like I don't know. You do some skipping with this, maybe hang it in your bathroom. Skipping? Yeah, like this, you know.
Let me show me.
It's great for skipping.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to try not to laugh too much tonight. I've been waking up at 4 a.m. every day because of jet lag, and then by this time of night, I'm usually like this.
Oh, she hasn't been making it hardly past 8.
Yeah, like 7:30, so 8:30 is feeling late tonight, so everything's going to be funny.
That's right, this is what's going to help her get over it and get back on a regular schedule.
How is Jack feeling? He's feeling good. He woke up this morning, he goes, Mom, I think I'm going to be able, what did he tell you?
So he comes in the room this morning. He's like, my leg is okay. Can you see? I'm able to walk. If that's all the better it gets for the rest of my life, it'll be all right. And then he got an iPad and got some breakfast.
And he was out on the trampoline this afternoon, so
yeah,
looks
fine.
like he's going to...
he's already made a full recovery.
Yeah. Late, but you need to make sure you remember to buy apples. Sorry, we only have tomatoes and bananas today, Tom. Caitlin dropped the link to the grand opening, so if you are coming, click that link. We'd like to know so we can plan. We're trying to figure out how many people are coming. First 25 people at the grand opening will get a grab bag, and the first 200 people will be able to do a make and take that Zeb made on the CNC machine.
Yep, I don't have those here. Those are at the shop. So.
And if you sign up for the class on Monday, Deb's bringing pop sockets. All right, moving on with the thrift haul. What do we got?
$2 colander. It's brown, which I think is fine.
You think it's fine?
The shape is unique though. You don't see them like this. Usually they're bigger and more domed. This is kind of squatty.
I liked the whole pattern.
The whole pattern on here.
Whole pattern. I don't know if that's a thing. It was $2. It'll sell for $9.95 in our shop.
So how much? How much?
$9.95.
$9.95.
Yeah, we already have a white one in the shop, so we got a brown one. And then you want to show them? Oh, you're gonna show them that one? Okay.
I'll show them the other colanders in
your
just a
head's
second.
lost. So you gotta squat.
Oh.
Here's your face.
Okay, so these are big candlesticks. They're ceramic, and they're made to look like they've been outside. We were concerned they're dirty, but I think they just have a little bit of dust on them. They're not actually that dirty. This one was $3. This one was $4. We will probably get to painting these tonight, and they'll be like a pretty cool color, hopefully.
Or white.
Yeah.
We don't have any white candlesticks in the shop.
I know, and this coming through, that would look pretty cool, I think.
Yeah,
So it might be a good call.
We'll paint some in apothecary and some in that.
They're heavy, so I can't hold it out here very long.
Oh, Nicole says, I received my stencils and stencil brush from your website. Love them. Thank you. If you're new to our channel, we have a website. It's called JamiRayVintage.com, and that's where we sell the paint and products, stencil stamps, everything that we use. If you haven't checked it out, please do. Plus, our blog is there. There's lots of written blog posts, so it's a good place to find everything.
All the products, we make these non-farmhouse things look like farmhouse stuff.
That's right. All you need is a little paint.
Okay.
Are you doing barnwood at your house? Like at
like
the farmhouse?
At the stamp?
I think she just means like, are we using barnwood in the farmhouse? We're going to be using old wood in the farmhouse. There's going to be a lot of white, but then we're going to use wood tones to kind of bring some natural elements in.
And color and copper pots and things. Oh, you guys, I'll show you real quick. So we went to France last week, and Jami got a ton of stuff that we almost couldn't fit in the suitcases.
Is any of this haul from my trip? Nope, it's all from today.
But she's already
And yesterday.
displayed what she's keeping up there for the most part.
So I have all my enamelware and my copper pots up there.
I think
that's it. And then look right here, these are from my trip.
Yeah.
These are the enamelware like set, and it says like spice and stuff on them. And then if you saw on Instagram and Facebook today, I used my copper candlesticks from France, and we'll have a video of that up on Monday. And if you do follow us on Facebook, make sure you're watching my live videos, because I'll do a live in the shop this next week, and I'll point out all the things that are from France in the shop.
So Jami's super into copper right now, and
Debbie says it looks like I kept it all.
about half.
About 50% of everything I bought in France staying right here.
And here's the thing. If you want to come see it, that's great, but Jami priced it so that if it doesn't sell, she won't be sad.
I priced it at what it's worth. So it's not bargain discount, the France stuff. We got lots of bargain discount stuff in the store, but
She's like,
we
if
got
that
to pay to
doesn't
play
sell,
with the French stuff.
If that doesn't sell, I'm taking it all home. All right, so we have two bump pans.
Oh, Sally gave us $19.99 super chat.
Oh,
Thanks,
super
Sally.
chat, thank you. Are these bump pans? These little ones? They don't have a center.
I don't know. They're just molds, I guess.
Yeah, they're like molds.
I don't bake and things like that.
So they're two different colors. This we found at Desert Industries, the DI thrift store here that's local. And then this one we got at Ugly's. This one was $1. This one was $3. This one's the right color. Jami says this one's gold. I just say that like if you didn't see them together, you wouldn't hardly be able to tell.
Well, they're each going to be $9.95, so there's that.
And then this blue colander is the perfect shade of blue for what we've got going on that
goodness.
front shelf.
Well, in France, all the numbers that were outside were that shade of enamelware. And so when I found this enamel colander at the thrift store, it's not super old, but when I found it, I was like, gotta have it. It was $1. That one will actually probably be more like $14.95 because the color is awesome.
It's the right color.
Yeah, it could be even $19.95. I don't know. It's good stuff.
So this one's an actual bump pan,
They're
a little
Jell-O
one.
molds.
Jell-O molds. Okay, gotcha. This is 3.5 cups worth. This one was $5. This one was $3. This one was $1. So we're gonna take the average and.
Well, that one, since it cost me $5, will probably be like $12.95.
Well, it is bigger.
It is bigger.
And it has some detail to it.
Yep. And then we got a bunt pan.
Classic bunt pan, that good old farmhouse green. It's akin to aviary. Aviary is its friend.
I would say that's
Aviary's
more olive-y.
darker.
Yeah, it's more
Maybe
olive.
down here when you get to this color here.
I
It's
saw
got an ombre effect.
at the barn sale I went to today, the Vintage Pelican. If you don't follow her, definitely check her out. She took, I think it was her that did it. Maybe it was Lay Junk. I don't remember. But look up Lay Junk or the Vintage Pelican on Instagram. Took those and she put like all these Christmas stuff. Can you pass that to me?
This one?
I'll probably never do it because I'm not as organized as her. She's a big crafter. But she took all this Christmas stuff and she put it on top of the bundt pan and made the cutest display using the bundt pan this way. So I thought, maybe I'll do one, or maybe I'll just sell it the way it is.
Tom Fisher's been digging in outhouses to get to old bottles. We've
Well,
got
these bottles might have come from the outhouse. I don't know.
they're farm
We'll
fresh
tell you the story about these bottles in a minute. It's a little bit funny.
All right, so this was $1. This one was also $1. This one's got some fun patterns
Heart.
on the bottom. So if you're into Jello, you know, Thanksgiving's coming. If you're the
I think
Jello person,
Utah is the Jello capital of the world. All right, so I'm gonna show them this one.
this is from the barn sale.
This is like actual copper. You see the patina in there. It was only $8, which I think is a steal for old copper. And I'm gonna keep that for myself. It's
Look
gonna
at
go in
these
my
cool
copper
handles.
collection.
They're like brass handles on there.
Yeah, I'm already working on a copper display for the new kitchen. So
Speaking of the new kitchen, people have been asking and asking and asking. We have been on hold on the house, and I have been very frustrated about not being able to start. But we got back from France. The plans were ready from the structural engineer that I needed to have, and I took him to the city to get permits for that. So hopefully next week we get the permits, and after the grand opening is behind us, we're going to be like gangbusters on that house project over there. So more videos will be coming soon.
we are just antsy to get that started. I actually bought a giant sink that's not here today because it's super heavy. It's at the shop, so we'll show it to you another time. But I bought a giant galvanized sink for either out back or in the garage for a garage sink at the barn sale today. I was super
It's
excited
huge. I
about
almost
that.
couldn't get it out of the truck by myself.
I was like, I go out the back door and I'm like, Zeb, what are you doing? Like, it took 2 grown men and me to get it into the truck. I had one side, the 2 grown men were on the other side.
What?
But it took us to get in the truck, and then Zeb's just like manhandling this giant. I mean, the sink is probably what, like 4 feet wide and 3
It's
foot
deep is the
It's
thing.
big.
Like it's like comes up to my neck on the
And it has a
backsplash.
big sash in the back, so it's just a super heavy sink. He was unloading it.
Debbie said she got a bunch of French pastry tins at a yard sale.
No, she got it at the Grenier at the French
Oh.
yard sale in France.
It's Grenier, remember? We
Grenier.
learned how to say that right. So apparently in our video we did the other day when we said go to the Plan du Marche or Marché, is how you say that fancy E with the accent on it.
The Marchie?
That's the name of the map.
Sorry.
It's not the name of the
We're
market.
leading you down the path that does not rock.
So all I did to find that market when we were in Paris was I looked up Paris flea market. It's the first thing that pops up on Google.
Will I have a gas stove in my kitchen? Yes. It's actually a stove and an oven, and the oven's electric and the stove is gas. I have beautiful appliances, all waiting to come
Yep,
in.
we already purchased the appliances, right? Like the day we closed on the house because we were killing time shopping for them, and then they found out we closed and we were already there, so we bought them.
How did I get the large kettle on the plane? Everything came home in suitcases.
Yep. So these are fun. They're a little more ornate than we usually go with, but after being in France, we're feeling it.
No, I do something like that.
So
For
the
sure.
tall one was 5, this one was 4, and
I
we'll
think-
get more than 20 for these at the
Well,
shop.
yeah, that'll be 22, and this one will be 20. Originally, this one was $14.95. It's off the internet. Hold on just a second. We're coming.
All right, I gotta go kick kids off the internet.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And we're back. All right, Zeb's gonna go kick some kids off the internet. We try to limit who's on there. Okay, let's talk about these jars. I am like the marketplace person. I am on marketplace about 50% of the time. If I'm on my phone, I'm browsing junk on marketplace. And so I buy way more stuff than I probably should. And these bottles I saw 2 days ago. And then today, after I did my little centerpiece with the amber bottles, I remembered that I'd seen this listing and I thought, okay, I gotta find them. So I actually searched through like a million old bottle listings and I found it. It was 100 bottles for $50. Well, a little over 100 bottles for $50. So I contacted them and they live like 30 minutes away and I asked them, you know, would you be willing to meet? Because I'm just not going to have time to get that far this week. I just know my schedule's too crazy. And they're like, well, we can meet you at IKEA. That's like 2 exits up from where we live. And I was like, well, it's right before my live. I can't do it. I don't want a chance being late. So I asked if they'd come here for an extra $10. They said yes. So this is where it gets good. They like can't find us. And I'm like, just drive around and I'll wait for you. So I go outside and here pulls up this Winnebago from like 1970. It's like awesome, huge Winnebago. The guy like opens the window. He's like, come around to the side door. I got your bottles. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is where I die. Luckily Zeb came with me and they like open up.
He was nice.
He was super nice. I guess they were on their way to go camping. But it was one of those like, I was a little bit creeped out by the RV showing up at my house. But the RV delivered and I got amazing bottles. So it was $60 with delivery for over 100 bottles. The little ones are really cool.
They're all got designs and measurements and all kinds of fun stuff going on. So they need some scrubbing, but we're not afraid to do some scrubbing.
Yeah, we're gonna clean them
Look
all
at that
up.
one.
For sure. If anybody is still buffering, it's streaming well on my end, so hop out and hop back in.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The kids turned a bunch of like 4 TVs on at once and we're watching Netflix.
These are like officially crusty, but these, so just to give you an idea of pricing, these bottles, this bigger 2 are probably gonna be, well, all of these amber bigger ones are about $10 a piece. So I'll get back my $100 on just these, let's see, 10, 20.
I thought you said it was 50.
So not $100, $50, it was 60.
Oh, because of the delivery.
Delivery, I'm tired. The 100 bottles, $60, yeah. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, yeah. So anyways, you get the point. I'm making my money back.
I'm going to show
I
them.
can't do math this late at night.
I'm going to show them what we do with them since you already posted that on Instagram.
Zeb's going to show you what's coming up on Monday's video, a little sneaky peeky. So
Well, it's already on Instagram.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it.
So this is what we do with those bottles.
I have been an amber bottle hoarder for a while, and I just got a pack of greenery, and I'll talk more about that in the video, so you gotta watch it when it comes out Monday. And these are actually brass candlesticks.
They're copper.
Copper, sorry. Told you I'm tired. Copper candlesticks from France. These ones, they wanted $20 for 20 euros for the pair, and we were able to talk them down to 15. I had to give a little face, but
The pouty face worked.
You know, if I have to throw a little lip out
It only
there,
works on your dad, so use
he
it
was
while
an
you
old- He was
can.
an older guy. Sarah and I both threw out the little pouty face. Anyways, so those are that's kind of what you do. Sometimes people see old bottles and they're like, well, what would you even do with them? They're great for display. I love, especially in the little ones, just put little sprigs of flowers in the spring. Like wildflowers are gorgeous in them and they're fun. Now to clean them, because somebody asked how would you clean them? We dump out as much dirt as possible, and then we usually just soak them in the sink with warm soapy water overnight, and then we just clean them as much as possible. They usually don't ever get like 100% perfect, but you can, I mean, it's just dirt. So just soap and water and soak them in that, and it's good.
So this is a big, I don't know, what would you call this? Container. We don't, it's not our normal color, but I'm going to try to do some stamping on it with the IOD stamps.
Because you're the stamping king.
Well, it's
Dun,
pretty
dun,
slick,
dun,
so I
dun.
don't know how well it'll stick. I wanted to try ink and get a real crisp, clean impression on there.
We're going to paint it.
Oh, we're going to paint it. Well, that solves all my problems.
Yeah, you thought I was not going to leave it that orange.
You didn't want to leave it the orangey color?
No.
I should have known.
Put that in my shop and somebody will see it because they'll be like, boom, there's some orange.
All right, we also got, let's see,
It
that was
looks like an urn.
That was $5. How much would you sell that for, painted and
Oh.
stamped?
Probably like $25.
Containers are always good
Debbie
sellers.
says she likes the color. I know.
They're
Debbie
always
likes all the good colors.
they're always great sellers, and we got these for $1.50. These are cool because they have the wooden tops.
So we can paint them and stamp them or just leave them the way that they are. Clear glass and wood always sells really well. Check for ashes. All right, Zeb, look in there.
I'll look in a
See if
second.
someone's grandma's in there.
But I wanted to show them this.
Oh, all right. And on that note, every time I find a little nativity or a Santa, I scoop it up because I can paint that thing apothecary, put some white wax on it, and it'll be gone. I've done like half a dozen of them trying to get ready for Christmas, and every time I do a nativity or a Santa, it sells. Like they sell super quick. So I think that one was like $1.50. It'll probably sell for like $7 or $8. And it just takes a few minutes to paint them up.
Debbie, I did see your dishes. You scored on those.
Yep. Oh, they like the soft orange color too.
This was my peace offering for the barn sale. So if there's any guys watching or ladies who enjoy
After
some
I spent
woodworking,
hundreds of dollars at the barn sale today with things I'm not actually showing you, I purchased this for $25, which Zeb said it's worth.
I've seen these for about 150 to 200 in this kind of condition. It still has its blade, so that just needs a little conditioning. I'll get all the rust off of it, sharpen it up, make it functional again. This is something I will actually use, and it is the, where's it at? It's stamped. It's the New York Tool Company, the number 30. You can't hardly see it on there, but this block plane is sweet and it's in good condition. And I love hand tools like this because you can really get a good, nice, long cut with a plane this big. It's great for tables.
So, pro tip, when you go spend hundreds of dollars on things you don't really need yet because your house isn't finished, buy your husband a present, and then it softens the blow. All right, it said to check for ashes, so.
Here, why don't we cut that instead of snap, crackling, and popping?
I almost got it.
Here, I have it right here.
Okay. Oh.
It's like on
No ashes.
what's that show? Kung Fu Panda, when he like knocks down that urn.
What color do we see in France? Emerald green.
Oh, blues, all kinds of blues.
The blue shade we just showed you on this.
This color
This
blue
shade
was
of
all
blue.
over the place.
All over the place in France. Also like chippy greens that I'm like totally obsessed with.
We have tons and tons of pictures, and I have probably about 40-ish, well, I wouldn't say 40-ish. I've got a lot of hours of footage that we have to sift through and we're planning on using for inspiration. But we're going to do videos with projects like what inspired this project kind of thing and tell the story behind it because that'll be more fun.
I have videographic evidence of Debbie eating sugar in France. What? She Cheeto on the keto.
It was like the tiniest little cheat.
It was pretty funny.
It was a taste of a cheat, but leading up to it was a bit funny.
All right, so we have a few other things to show you that are down in front. We've got pie crust table, love these. $15, I'll sell it for probably like $85. They usually sell really quick. I'll paint it apothecary because, hello, I love the color. And I have a couple of white side tables in the shop and an aviary table, which is green. So I just thought apothecary would be nice. So that's what's coming on this one. It's floating across.
I have to float it because it gets the close detail.
Yeah. It's really, really, Debbie says that the Cheeto on the keto wasn't that good. These are really, really pretty, especially painted. And for $15, I can't pass that up. Like, so it's probably like $85-ish in the shop. And then for $50, I called Zeb when he was on the way home from the shop with all of the stuff. I said, hey, you're going to need to stop by. I bought a dresser. Luckily, it was in our neighborhood. I always try to buy things that are close. I don't like traveling far for stuff because time is money. Oh, and a mirror.
Oh, we got this mirror from Uglies. It was $10.
It's got like...
It's missing a lot of its
what's that
trim
called?
down on the
Filigree
bottom.
or
Well, it's
molded?
plaster.
It's plaster.
But this dresser is like the score of the day for $50. It's almost ready. Like we almost don't need to even paint it, except for it's got a bunch of scratches and some stains and stuff on the
It's
top.
like super solid and has all the original hardware on it. So we're gonna.
The drawers work mostly okay. They need a little love. Some waxing and maybe a little sanding here and there where the wood is swollen.
Debbie said Felicia made her do it. If you guys don't know who Felicia is, you're gonna have to watch Debbie's live video from yesterday.
Yeah, Debbie tells that story very well.
Debbie's like the epic storyteller. I forget things because my ADD, like things just roll off my brain. I don't remember much.
Oh, and tell them about your, so we're gonna put a laundry co stencil on this.
Yeah, so that's a laundry basket. It's cute. It's got like a shutter style.
Yeah, it's like shutters here.
That was, how much was it? Like
$12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll probably like sell it for like $45. all
Are you
done.
ready to move your glass jar army so that we can?
I don't know that I'm ready to paint, so you might be in charge of painting and I'll be in charge of comments.
Yeah,
right?
answer the questions.
I'm so tired. All right. Let me grab a box.
Okay. Get all your. Can you even get them all back in there?
Sure.
What should I paint while we're doing that? I think I'm gonna paint these.
What are you gonna paint?
These.
Okay.
And then if we get to it, how long have we been on? I can't see.
Oh, we have like 30 minutes still.
Sweet. We breezed through that then.
All right, let me remove all these jars. Cleaning out jars is like a good job for kids. Go take that jar outside and dump out the dirt. They like playing in the dirt.
Hey, I just had Eliza wash 9 brushes, and it only cost me a bag of M&Ms.
Well, the story of the brushes is they got ruined in transit. So a customer shipped them back to us, and we shipped her out new brushes, and we didn't want to waste them, so we washed them all. They had DIY paint on them, but we soaked them and were able to get all the paint off, even though it probably been dried on there a week or so.
So these, they really look dirty, but they're not even dusty.
They're just a little decrepit. They need to maybe be wiped down.
I'm gonna see about it, but I don't
So
know.
somebody asked if some of these bottles are worth more than the others. This one probably is worth more. This Purex, so this one would probably be more like $12.95 or $13.95 for the Purex bottle, it's like a soap bottle. And somebody said these are booze. So the funny thing is, there's a lot of them that are this shape, all like. So if it is alcohol, but that's like a really tiny hole on the top. So I'm guessing they might have been like medicine or cleaning products because nobody's gonna drink booze out. I mean, look how small that hole is. You think this is booze?
They gotta work hard for it.
Yeah, it's not beer. Now that this taller one could have been a beer.
Yeah,
or
these aren't even dirty at all. I'm getting nothing off on my damp paper
okay.
towel.
Oh, and then we showed the little baby one. This was $1.50. I don't think we did. It's kind of the same style as those big
Oh,
ones.
Anna, I'm glad the videos are helping you on the dresser repair videos. You know, sometimes people ask us for like these repair videos and they don't get a ton of views, but I feel like they're super helpful and people can go back and reference them, so we like doing them.
Well, not all the videos can be fluffy DIY. Some of them got to be like meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I watched all of Debbie's video, her live video that she did, and I'm like, oh, she's just scratching the surface of this story.
No, that's pretty good.
So
We'll give you the brief description on our end. Zeb and I aren't super big storytellers, and actually most of the time we can't even remember the stuff that went down. But I can say I would not want any of you guys to go on the tour that we went on with the same tour guide, thinking that we would suggest going on it. I would not. I do not feel like the value for the money was there, and that she's equipped to handle these types of tours. So I'm not going to go into great detail because that's not really my bag, but if you know, we are influencers and we influence people, and I don't want anybody to be influenced to take that trip from me.
honestly, I would rather show you how to use Google to find all the things you needed, because that's how the 2/3 of our trip went, and it was very successful.
Yeah,
after
we
that.
had a lot of really good times, and we had so much fun. And the fun that we had was because we found stuff, and Debbie took the bull by the horns and said, nope, we're not going to let this trip suck. And it didn't. We had a really good time. Somebody's like, I'm so sorry your trip was bad. Absolutely not. I cried once. There was a few hours that were a little sketch, but other than that, it was really good. And sometimes it's kind of like an analogy to life. I know you want to say something. Somebody just give me a second. In life, you never know how awesome things really are unless you've experienced things that really suck. And that's kind of the way my whole life has been. That I don't really appreciate the awesomeness unless I have things that are hard. And in this trip, we had some things that were really hard, but that made the things that were awesome so much sweeter because we really appreciated them. And so I feel like that might have been a blessing in disguise.
So Debbie omitted this because she's a sweetheart, but the van breaking down was kind of on me. When we rented the van, they're like, it's a diesel, you know to put diesel in it, right? Well, in Europe, they have diesel for big trucks, and they have gasol for like smaller vehicles. Well, I put diesel in a smaller van. And
that's what our tour guide told us to put in.
Well, and I paid for diesel too, and yeah, the tour guide, I'm like, diesel, yeah, okay, I got it, diesel. And I said it to her a couple times, and she's like, yeah, diesel. But, you know, no one clarified to me that it needed to be gasol. So anyway, it made it about 20 kilometers down the road to the next stop, and it was done.
So, truth bomb right there. And we just want to let you guys know, so should you ever go to Europe.
Yes, don't. Make sure you're putting the right fuel if you rent a vehicle.
In America, if it's not the right gas, you can't even put the pump in the hole, but in France it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, the nozzle on the diesel is too big to go in the regular gasoline receptacle.
Well, and Gina, what is she calling her? Oh, Felicia. We're not naming any names. Felicia said it had happened before. And I was like, why would you not tell somebody this has happened before? This is what you need to do, knowing that we've never been there before. I'm like, holy Batman. Anyways, that's beside the point. We had a fabulous time. So
I need to be painting.
There's the story. Zeb should be painting.
I had a towel out here to paint on because all of our drop cloths
Jami
are at
says
the
it
shop.
wasn't your fault. No, it wasn't Zeb's fault. Like, he did what he was told, and it wasn't the right thing.
Well, I've driven, I have a CDL, I've driven big semi-trucks here in the States.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I was just like, let's put the diesel in it. It's a diesel engine.
Zeb driving the van through the little streets of Poitiers in Paris. Poitiers, I feel like, was worse than Paris. Like, the streets are like this wide, and the van is like this wide. And Zeb's like, just don't look. So I'm literally just looking down.
Well, here's the thing.
And then I look up and there's like a giant wall in front of me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
She'd be having a conversation with people in the back seats, and then she would turn around and look, and we'd be like inches away from a motorcyclist that's like passing us in the middle of the road, not even on a lane. And she'd freak out. I'm like, can you not look? Just don't look. Because it happened a lot.
Yeah.
Like and they're used to it, and they were very good drivers actually. Like I think I saw one accident, but they're just very used to like the tight quarters and the tight spaces, and even pedestrians, like they see their hole and they go for it, and you just kind of slow down a little bit so you don't hit them.
Queen Bee, we don't really know what happened. After that, we gave it back to him. Once we realized that it was not, something crazy was going on, we didn't drive that thing anymore. So I don't know. Let's see. Since we had 10 people and 7 of us were in Zeb's van because nobody wanted to drive with Felicia. Felicia had provided somebody else to drive who was not from France. So I can't.
And I feel a little sorry for her.
White. Yeah, I do.
Oh, well, now they're gonna be
apothecary.
I'll pull a lot of this off and white wax them.
It's fine. We'll take these more ornate ones and we'll spray them
at
the shop because these look really good wet distressed because all the detail pops out.
I think I forgot to grab white from the shop anyway. We can milk paint them. But this DIY
sounds like
paint,
driving in New York City, probably.
Yeah, it's probably pretty similar to that. I mean, it's just that older cities and things, the roads have been there since before cars were made. So, you know, it's just what they have to work with. And they do a very good job of directing traffic with the way those roads are. It's just, I got home and I was going 70 on my 7-lane highway to get home from the airport. I'm like, everything's right in the world.
It was so good. We laughed so much. Oh my gosh, I've never laughed in all of my life. Like the conversations that came up in that van with all those women. And the day after this happened, we were down to one van, and then Felicia went to go pick up another van to replace the one that had broke. So we actually had 2. We had Sarah and Kathy wound up in our van. And so we had like half a cheek on the seat because we had, I don't even know, I probably shouldn't tell you this, I don't know what the laws are in France, but we had 10 people in an 8-person van. It was a little bit crowded.
But we would have missed out on the hop-on, hop-off bus had we not done that.
That's right. I didn't want to make anybody wait for Felicia, so I just said, everybody pile in! And we just made it work. I actually sacrificed our pillows so that way if they were on the crack where the seatbelts were, they could put it under their bum.
And if you don't know what the hop-on, hop-off bus is, it's kind of like a tour around all the main things to see in France. It goes around like the Louvre, and you can hop off and look at stuff. You can get off and check out the Eiffel Tower, and then you get back on, and then you go to the next point of interest, or you can stay on the bus and just drive around.
All right, so Cindy says, let's see what's in the haul and how Farmhouse is coming along. So we already are done with the haul, Cindy, so you'll have to watch this when it goes back up. We showed everything we had. The Farmhouse, we didn't really go over all the updates with it, I guess. When we get the plans approved from the city, Zeb will be working on some structural stuff. Top of my list is going to be getting the floors finished and working on the fireplace and getting things ready so that way we can paint everything. Because we'll paint everything, then we'll put kitchen cabinets and the island in. The inside actually won't take that long. The addition is probably what's going to take the bulk of the time.
Yep, so since we've had so many delays, our current plan, because we were hoping to be done with everything by January-ish, sometime in January, and everything with getting the shop and things like that set up and just having setbacks with permits and structural issues that we found as we peeled back some layers. Now our plan is to see if we can get the house, the main part of the old house, pretty so Jami can decorate it for Christmas. That's the plan. Like the kitchen will be done, the island will be done.
I think
so
this is done.
Yep, I just need to scooch
Speaking
it.
of done. All right, so Zeb's painting an apothecary. That is a single coat. It's plenty of coverage. This is one of the things about DIY paint is that when you use it on porous surfaces that are not shiny, it soaks right up, and a lot of times one coat is more than enough. So Peggy says, I did all the driving in France for 21 days and all the World War I and World War II sites. I then drove for 30 days in Ireland and put on 3,000 miles.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
You're a trooper, because man, it's if you're not used to it, it's a little hectic.
Yeah, the truth be told, Zeb wasn't supposed to be driving. You know, she had this other guy lined up, but Zeb likes to drive, and he's a very good driver, and he would rather drive than be driven by somebody. He doesn't even like it when I drive.
So what some people don't know is when you work at Discount Tire, they send you to do fun things every now as perks. And I've been to several racing schools too. So it was like being at a racing school. I was like, well, too bad this is a van.
Yeah, you weren't doing any cool things in that van.
You know, it had decent amount of get up for a van.
Yeah. Why are you going side to side on the straight parts?
I just, you know, I'm doing my own thing. Look away like on the van.
Look away, okay. I'll look away. Oh my goodness.
But it was fun, you know. It was a manual, and so
The
I
first
haven't
van
driven
was
a manual.
The second one was not.
I haven't driven a manual like on a regular basis in about 15 years, so my leg was a little worn out, but you know.
Debbie said it was like a Jason Bourne movie. You know what reminded me of a Jason Bourne movie? You know how like in Europe the sirens are different than the sirens here? And they had quite a few sirens going on, especially when there was, I believe there was some civil unrest and protesting going on in certain parts of Paris while we were there. And you could hear the sirens, and I'm like, oh, it didn't make me feel really good. And Zeb's driving all crazy, and there's sirens going off, and roads blocked off, and I'm like, oh my goodness, so this is where I die. I think I said that like 8 times on the trip.
I never felt unsafe.
I know. I can't, I'm trying to think. I actually felt most at home in the sketchy flea market. I was like, there's so much junk here. People that sell this kind of junk can't be dangerous. Because it makes people happy, right?
I think it's the people the flea market attracts that
Like
you need to worry about.
People like us?
You got that soccer mom looking for copper.
I'm not a soccer mom, I'm a football mom. They had security guards there, and one of them was like, you need to put your backpack in the front. I'm like, I ain't got no money in this backpack. I have a sweater and an orange. He had all my money. I didn't carry it around. Debbie was very concerned that I was going to lose my phone, which is funny considering she went down to a back alley and purchased some Eiffel Towers from a sketchy closet, and we had to chase after her so she wasn't alone. Now that was an interesting story. I have a picture of the alley with all the graffiti on it in our video.
Yeah, it made our video.
Yeah, if you watch the video from yesterday, it's up. Or 2 days ago. Check the bottoms of the bottles for either Stoddard Glass or Weeks and Gilson. All right, Peggy, PM me on Facebook, because otherwise I won't remember, but I'll look for you. The Sketchy Flea Market reminded Debbie of Kobe's, because she goes to Kobe's swap meet every week. I think Kobe's is not quite as sketch. I've been there. I didn't feel like it was quite the same. Debbie says that Kathy was with her, so it was okay that she was going down a sketchy alley for Eiffel Towers. I feel like Kathy's about 5 foot tall, and the two of them might weigh 200 pounds soaking wet, so probably not your best option.
All right, you said do these ones white?
Yeah, but I was gonna spray them. Are you gonna brush them?
Yeah, Mike, we got time.
Well,
Did you want to paint this?
Let's paint that laundry thing.
Okay, let's paint the laundry basket. Where's that towel I had though? I'm gonna need that. Oh, here it is over in the corner.
All right, let's see.
So despite the hiccups, we salvaged the trip once Debbie got us all together for our powwow, and we're like, nope, we're gonna do this on our own. And we had it went a lot better after that.
So, oh, the cab of the tow truck, yeah, we fit all. So I don't know if you guys heard Debbie's story about how we all got in the tow truck after the van broke down, but we're all in this tow truck, and there's like everybody in our van. So we had 7 of us in the van in a tow truck plus the tow truck driver. And I was a little concerned that I had no idea where he was taking me. So we actually have a picture, and I'm taking a selfie, and he's in the picture because I thought if anything goes down, I want a picture of this guy. So took a picture of him. Ruth said she loved the soap story. The butt crack soap.
I actually found the best soaps that I got were at Monet's Garden.
Missed some areas on the back of that, somebody says.
Well, we're just stressing it.
It's good.
Oh, they're mostly done.
Okay.
Oh, there's one little spot right here. Got it. Thank you.
Did we eventually ditch Felicia? No, Felicia never left, but we did ditch her plan. And we went with our own plan, and she came along for the ride. Because the last house we stayed at was the one we did stay at another house that she had rented, which is what our money was going towards. So we
You might
did
need
that.
to scooch a little.
Huh.
I'm gonna lift the camera up a little bit. You want to scooch over so they can see you good?
Yeah, I'll go over here. Sorry, I'm half asleep, guys.
What color on this? I don't know what other colors I brought.
I don't know. White?
I don't think I brought the white. I think I forgot it.
You didn't bring a white.
We can white wax this.
Well, I was gonna tone that down.
We'll white wax it heavy. It'll be great.
Okay.
We're gonna do some blue iris.
I did some water lily on candlesticks. If you want to see what they look like, check out my Instagram stories.
in
They
honor
turned out
of
really cute.
in honor of France, and it was like Battle of the Doors. We're gonna do a video on that too. It's cool, and we're gonna try to recreate some stuff.
Did we go to any nightclubs? Les,
Nah.
do you know me at all?
There was no time for nightclubs. We were rushing around everywhere.
I'm not really a nightclub person. I can count on one hand in my entire, how many nightclubs I've been to in my entire life.
I think you can count on one finger.
I had a girlfriend who turned 21, and I went with her. I was a designated driver because I don't drink.
Weren't you pregnant?
I might have been. I don't know. I remember I stayed out all night, and I texted Zeb the next day, and I'm like, seriously, what the heck was I thinking? But I made sure everybody got around safe. So, oh, Zeb, don't forget to take the tag off the price.
It's up top here. I'll grab it.
Well, there's one on the front, too.
All right.
Oh, she means for dancing also. No, I'm not much of a dancer. Zeb and I, we dance at weddings. Although, when we were teenagers, we danced all the time. Zeb was, well, how do I say this? How can I best describe your dancing style when we were dating?
I wasn't a great dancer, but I made up for it with enthusiasm.
Yeah, enthusiasm. He looked like he might have been on, he forgot his anti-seizure meds. But he was super cute, and we always had a really good time at dances. All right.
I'll in just a sec. I'll be around front so you guys can see this color on this.
Caitlin's like, you saw the Moulin Rouge? We drove by the Moulin Rouge in the sketchy part of town with all the stores that names need not be mentioned. They're like, and this is the blah 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 district, and I'm like, oh, look away. And then Debbie's like, let's get off the van and find the artist district, and I'm like, this area is so sketch. I'm not getting off this
I
van.
loved that area of town though, like those stairs all painted.
Oh my gosh. And I feel like Zeb was like, nope, we're going because I'm not letting all these women be here by themselves where it could be sketchy. So we all stuck together to find the artist area. And once we got there, it was really cool. But
People are gonna think everywhere in France is sketch. Like it's
not
not
everywhere is sketch.
like you say sketch every 3 seconds.
like 5%. And by sketch, I mean I live in this little bubble.
Our town is like one of the lowest crime rate cities in the United States. Like a big deal that makes the news here is someone backed into somebody else at the Walmart.
Les says, what did you do at night? Eat? Yeah. What else do you do at night?
Well, the restaurants don't open till 7, so we were all starving by the time it was time to eat.
Oh my gosh, I've never been so hungry and thirsty in all of my life.
That took some getting used
And
to.
then we got to find a restaurant, and Debbie can't do McDonald's because, you know, apparently it's got stuff in it that's bad for you. And she has to have something that has lots of meat because she's keto. But then Dion's a vegetarian. And then Mara has some legit allergies. So trying to find a restaurant we could all eat at was quite the ordeal. And you can't just get off the road. It's like down the street, around the roundabout, 42-point turn to get into any restaurant. It was a little bit crazy. So we finally started just when we were hungry, we just found somewhere that we could walk to and eat because it was too much effort to drive to someplace.
I did a lot of dropping them off, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
Debbie says McDonald's is gross. Hey, when I ate McDonald's in France, the one time we got to go, they dropped it, they like brought my food to me and they said, bon appetit. And apparently like pesticides and stuff are illegal in France, so it's probably fairly decent meat. Ruth says, I'd be packing food. I did. I actually brought like 20 packages of instant oatmeal and protein bars. Zeb likes Lara bars, so I brought those. Is the McDonald's the same tasting? It actually tasted a little bit better. I'm not going to lie. It did. And they had Evian water. It was pretty fancy. They said that blue is the best. So this blue is blue iris. It's a cobalt blue, similar to the type of blue that you would see on crockware. And I'll show you. I have a crock here on the counter.
So what I'm kind of trying to do so my brush strokes don't go all over the place is running the brush into the corner here, and then I pull it across and smooth that out.
It's a little bit brighter, but you get the idea. This is also a cobalt blue here. So if I had my druthers, I probably would add a little bit of white to this, but Zeb forgot the white, so we're going full strength with iris.
It's all right.
It's all right because we did, like I said, we have candlesticks painted in water lily, which is a periwinkle color. And my employee picked a color. I said, just paint whatever you want. And then she used white wax, and it turned out really pretty. Debbie said Jami tried to eat tacos, but they stopped me. I was so hungry for tacos. And actually, whenever we did stop to eat, I would order like 2 meals because I wasn't sure if I was going to like what I got. And I couldn't chance being hungry. And in France, it's not like they're not used to getting tipped, so they don't, I don't want to say they don't give good customer service, but it's not like in America where if you say, oh, I don't like this, they'll bring you out something else. I mean, you might get another meal, but it might be 30 minutes down the road, and we didn't have time for that. So I just ordered 2 meals. There was the restaurant with no women and where Debbie choked. That was interesting. We show up, and there's like only men.
Now, Debbie, every time she tells that story, she talks about breathing. I'm pretty sure for like a couple seconds there was no breathing going on.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, but her sister hopped in and saved the day. Where did you get the picnic basket? I picked it up at Ugly's?
Ugly's thrift store.
Ugly's thrift store in Pleasant Grove. French McDonald's is not the same. They use honey mustard instead of regular. It was an odd surprise. I didn't notice honey mustard, but I thought it was pretty good. Did the toilets flush counterclockwise? I didn't actually investigate any of the toilets.
No, I think that's if you go south of the equator.
Toilets were interesting.
They were very public.
They were very public, men's restrooms, and underneath the Pointier's flea market where we parked the van, there was like a half wall and then glass and then a big open door, and in there, like all wide open, there were just a bunch of urinals. So anybody walking by would see you at the urinal going to the bathroom. Shelly says the side ponytail is cute. Thanks. I didn't shower today, so.
Side ponytail it is.
Side ponytail it up. See, Kate, Debbie said she bought 4 packs of pink toilet paper. None of the toilet paper was soft in France either. It was all scratchy. Okay, I'm just seeing if there's anything else. Gina says, I can't believe you guys are painting with blue iris. Love it though. You know,
believe it.
It's the first time. I actually do have some bright color in my shop. I put it outside to attract attention. I don't know that I'm going to use well, I guess we could use the laundry stencil, but you didn't bring any white paint.
See what we got in the cabinet over there. Do we have any?
I think I took all my paint.
But we have milk paint. We could mix something up thick.
All right, you talk to the people.
You gonna find something?
Yeah, sure.
Jamie's gonna look at this later and be like, what did you do with all those brush strokes?
Actually, it looks really good. So new exciting news. Sweet Pickett's milk paint now comes in gallons. So if you haven't been to the website, check it out. You can get any of the Sweet Pickens milk paint in gallons now. So if you got a big project coming up, it's gonna be a lot less expensive to buy it by the gallon. And if you're coming to the grand opening, I will have milk paint in the shop. I will have old-fashioned milk paint and the new Farmhouse finishes line by the grand opening. Sasha told me that this morning, so I'm pretty excited. All right, now I need a cup. We'll use this Mario
So
cup.
because this probably won't be dry in time to put the stencil on it,
Oh yeah, all of our heat guns are...
all the heat guns are at the shop.
Oh, I have a blow dryer. Eliza, go get my blow dryer.
Because
sweetie.
we've been, the blow dryers are so loud.
And tell Jack to come out here. Everybody wants to say hi.
All right.
I didn't measure this milk paint, and I don't have a mixer here either.
Yeah, the immersion blender is over there too.
Hi, Jack. Everybody wants you to come say hi.
You gotta come stand on this stool or they won't be able to see you. Everybody does like you,
Don't
Jack.
scratch yourself on camera, though. Okay. All right, come on this camera. No, on this chair, stool right here. Oh, not that one. That one's squeaky. Come on. Come say hi. All right, here we go. And there's Jack.
And in case you're worried, I will, once everything's dry, lift this up and paint that
Everybody
lid.
says, hi, Jack. What are you doing in my room?
I'm watching TV.
You're watching TV? I
Oh,
thought
so you're the reason
we
why
said
my
no
stream
streaming.
got
I said
interrupted.
only games on your
With
iPad.
sound off.
Well, but the sound off doesn't help with the
That
internet.
helps the Wi-Fi be stronger when the sound's off, huh, Jack?
All right. Love you, buddy. Thanks for coming to say hi. He's too, yeah, I made it kind of thick. So I'm making my milk paint thicker so that way we can stencil with it.
So yeah, this lip will get painted, but I'm gonna wait for it to dry so that I don't
Let me
touch
add
it too
some
much.
extra bond to it so that way it doesn't chip off. That would not be.
Did we get a blow dryer? Eliza, were you able to find a blow dryer, sis?
Yep. Let's plug in.
I gotta paint one more side here.
Because I'm a retailer, I can buy extra bond by the gallon. I don't ever
Just
measure.
a splash.
Just a splash. Well, there's not much milk paint made anyways. I never measure. People always ask me, how do you know? And I'm like, I don't know. I like to live, Debbie can probably attest to the fact that I like to live on the edge. If it takes too much effort, I'm not into it. Yeah, this is a laundry hamper. That's
Yeah.
what I'm guessing. That's what it looks like to me.
That's what it's gonna be after we're done, because we're gonna put a laundry stencil on it.
Kelly says, I love the name Uglies. I went to one called Dead People's Things.
Oh,
Debbie,
that's
I'm not
awesome.
putting white over it. I mean, I might put white wax over it later, but we're just using white to stencil. Don't you worry. Dawn says she likes the clothes hamper painted in blue iris. The other thing about blue iris, let me show you another color that it's close to. These are my cute enamel little canister set. See how close that is to that? So cute.
That is pretty close. Channel members, real quick, I almost forgot to mention it. We're doing a video on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about our tips on thrifting and finding good deals and what to buy, what not to buy, kind of staples we stick with and our price points on those, and really cover that in depth and how to find those things too. And, you know, some negotiating tactics if you happen to be in flea markets, some tips and tricks that we maybe didn't share in our other video.
Yep. And the printable this month is going to be one of my beautiful France pictures. We were going to do a watercolor of it, but some of them are just so gorgeous as is. So we're going to edit them and make them beautiful, and you will get at least one, maybe even two France pictures.
I'm
for the
thinking
channel
two,
members.
because
Yeah.
I don't have to paint them, so,
So we'll just
editing
edit them.
will
So
be
you'll
pretty
get
quick.
2 printables this month. Zeb just confirmed it. So if you haven't checked out channel membership, hit that join button next to the subscribe button. All the information's there on everything that comes with channel membership.
Should I paint this MDF back?
Yep, Debbie is coming to visit and learn what life is like in the Ray household. Yes, definitely paint the back.
Okay.
Do you want to blow dry that top though? I'll paint the back if you blow dry the top.
Okay, I'll
And then
trade you.
this milk paint, you think this is thick enough, Zeb?
It will be in a minute. Let it sit for a sec.
Okay.
If not, we'll offload a lot. All right, this might get loud, but we'll hurry. Yeah, the blow dry is definitely a lot louder than the heat gun.
Yes, we're going to be stenciling with milk paint. I was like,
Gonna say it, not yelling.
yeah. They're like, are you actually stenciling with milk paint? We actually are.
Oh, Cheryl Doss, thank you for the super chat.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that. Just 1 minute. Oh, look, he's busted out the dancing. It's like our own nightclub right here.
Alright, that's dry enough on the top.
Kaylin says, you get life with a high schooler and a kindergartner. May the force be with you. The first thing Debbie gets to do is like unload and then come to a high school playoff game. Lehigh's playing Payson. It's going down. First round of playoffs. Alright.
I checked the weather. It's gonna be warmish.
It's going to be warmish.
Well, it'll be
Bring your long johns!
it'll be evening and like 50 with a breeze, so
Oh, Lisa says she wouldn't have missed this live for anything. And then Dawn says that it looks much different when it dries. It does, and it will, when it's sealed, it will get dry somewhere between the wet and dry color. Because
Yeah.
it's clay is why it dries that color. If you guys are new and you don't know, DIY paint is all natural, which is why it's totally safe for us to be doing in our kitchen with our kids around close to where our food is, because it is all natural and super, super safe.
okay, now the big question is, do we have tape anywhere?
We have tape. When's the last time you taped a stencil?
Well, I'm gonna have to do this one at an angle so they can see it.
Oh, okay. So somebody said, what about chipping with the milk paint? I added extra bond to it, so I don't think it'll chip off.
And if it does, that might be a cool effect.
Yeah. Like I said, I like to live on the edge. You never know what's gonna happen. No risk, no reward. All right, the back is painted. I don't paint the backs of everything, but things like this usually get moved around in the shop. You never know which angle is gonna be exposed.
And it's small, so it, I mean, would it take you like a cup, maybe an ounce of paint in a couple minutes?
Maybe a couple ounces of paint. Speaking of paint, if you're one of the first 25 people at the grand opening next week on October 26th, you're gonna get a couple of samples of paint, 2 ounce, so they're little baby ones, 2 ounce samples of paint in your swag bag. How does this paint hold up to outdoors? So we have used it on outdoor projects out in our backyard, and we sealed it with Kills Clear, which you can order on Amazon or you can pick up at your local hardware store. It's a water-based outdoor sealer, and it's been great. So you just have to
Key
make sure.
on water-based.
Yeah, don't use an oil-based, but make sure you use an outdoor sealer. Now, I mean, if you're gonna leave it out in the rain and the wind, and you're never gonna bring it in, not even in the winter, I mean, eventually it would chip off, but if you use an outdoor sealer, you should be fine.
I don't know of any paint that holds up against that for more than a year or two.
And we have DIY paint sealed in Big Top on our door at the shop, but it's in the shade and it's covered with a storm door, so it's really well protected.
Okay, I'm almost ready to stencil. I think I'm gonna go with this one. We'll see how good
Gabby
Jami
says,
mixed
we
this
always
up.
eat burgers after our lives with Super Chat cash. That sounds good, Zeb. I want a burger.
Should we get a burger? So that's something that's been weird. I have been starving like a teenager at weird times of the day. Like my body's like, you're used to eating right now. And I think it's the jet lag or the time difference or something, but I can't get full right now.
Yeah, I think it's just because we ate like only 2 meals a day for an entire week, so he's like filling it up. Patty says, what are some good ways to use dark and decrepit and old and gray besides on raw wood? So you can use them as a glaze. You can paint over surfaces that already have a finish just to add like a patina on them. I think that's probably about it. So yeah, you can use them as a glaze, as a stain, or as a patina over the top of finishes.
Okay, so we're gonna move the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing down here. And Jami, I'm gonna have you.
If the back has numbers and made in USA, should I leave it unpainted? Yeah, if it's like if it indicates like how the furniture was made. How am I doing this?
Or like the serial number of
Yeah.
it. Okay, I need you to hold this. I'm gonna hold the front of it while I stencil, but I need you to hold this up while I get around
Okay, I got
there.
it. I'll just.
You might get a little bit of paint. You
here.
gotta keep it from sliding
Okay,
too.
I got it. I got
Are
it.
you sure you got it?
Nope, I don't got it, Sammy. I can't hold this forever. You want me to hold it still like this?
Nope. I just needed you to hold it while I got around to the front. We're good to go.
Okay, now I can let go?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good.
But keep the sliding from the back because the towel's wanting to slide.
Okay.
Okay, so offload your brush. See how I'm offloading? Number one question on stenciling. How do you get a crisp, clear finish? This is a little thin, so I'm gonna offload a lot all over the place.
What brush are you using? So you're using the number 20?
Yep.
So this is the new JRV stencil brushes that you can also pick up at jamirayvintage.com. And the stencil's a JRV stencil. It's one that I designed. You can pick it up on our website, at the Lehigh shop. You can even pick it up at Plant Bar AZ. But we also have over 50 retailers, some in Canada and Australia, that carry the JRV stencil line. Not the brushes. Those you have to be a Paint Pixie retailer for. But the stencil line. And some of my stencil line retailers do also have the brushes, but if you want to know who carries them, if you go to jrvwholesale.com, we have a retailer map and you can see if there's somebody by you.
The retailer maps are in the description of every video since we started retailing them. So since August, if you're watching a newer video, it's in the description or should be.
Caitlin says that she loves your Super Mario cup.
Yeah.
Luckily we have more than one, although I don't think Jack's going to be super thrilled about that.
They're from Walmart.
Oh, not too shabby. Patty says she found a semi-local retailer, which means it must be decently close to her, and she picked up some stencils. Thank you. I love that you guys not only support me, but my retailers as well. It's really exciting to me when somebody says, somebody came to the shop to purchase something because they watched one of your videos and they were able to find me. I love that. All right, Caitlin dropped a link to the brush. So this number 20 is like the little C, only it's not quite as big and the handle is longer. I think it's a little bit more comfortable, at least for me, because the handle's a little bit longer and skinnier.
This is a little trickier with milk paint because even though Jami mixed it thick, it probably could have been a little thicker than this. The DIY paint is really nice and thick, and while it's achievable, it is definitely, I think, easier with the DIY paint.
Catalina, that's a really good idea. Caitlin, if you remember, can you ask Bethany what it would take to get a number sign put with the number set? Because that is a smart idea. Okay, JJ Snelton says we call that traveling empty leg syndrome when you come home from trips, eating schedules all out of whack. Yeah, the first night we were there, because we only ate one meal that first day because it was so crazy, like trying to get out of the airport and getting to our place. We finally ate a meal at the end of the day, but then in the middle of the night we were like starving all night long. Do you need me to hold that?
They can't even see, I realized. I'm like stenciling like crazy holding it and they can't even see it. There we go.
Sorry. I'd help you, but I don't know how I'd help you.
It's okay.
I'm actually trying to not fall asleep while I'm sitting up.
Can you get me the smaller brush that I brought over there?
This is the number 16. So this is good for the details. What colors are you painting the large and small candle holders? Those are going to all go white, and then I'm going to take a damp rag and wet distress them. I know white doesn't sound super exciting, but we have a bunch of colored candlesticks in the shop, and our white ones have all sold out, so we've got to restock them. So milk paint is thinner than like a chalk paint, but you can make it thicker. So when I stencil with milk paint, I add less water than it calls for, and I also add the extra bond so it doesn't all chip off. But you can stencil with milk paint.
Oh, we're losing it.
Do you want me to hold this back here?
I just need you to like put a break on the end there so it doesn't want to slide
I
down.
don't understand what you mean by break.
Hold your hand there and don't let it slide.
Okay, I got it. Offloading is the hardest thing to make yourself do. Yeah, you have to get almost all the paint off to where it's almost dry.
Almost there.
Did somebody ask if I'd lost weight? Because Debbie said if Jamie's lost weight, it's not fair. She literally eats 3 times the food. I didn't even eat that much. Wait till you see me at home when I actually have access to good food. I also didn't eat a lot because I wasn't working out. So I'm back to the Orange Theory situation. Okay, let's see. Debbie's no lie. It's true. I like food. And it's funny that Les was like, what do you guys do? Just eat? That's about right. Zeb, can we see Zeb's stencil? Zeb is stenciling. You want to see the stencil? Yeah, I took today off. No, what's today? Saturday? Yeah, I didn't work out today. I can't even remember which day is which.
All right, I think I got pretty good coverage on all of that.
All right. Ta-da! That's so pretty.
You
All right.
can let go now.
I can
got
let
it.
go?
Yep.
So this is the Laundry Co. JRV stencil. If you don't have to stencil with milk paint, we just did because that's what we had on hand. You can also stencil with the DIY paint. If we had White Swan, that's probably what I would have used. But if you've got milk paint, Flour Sack is the color, and we added Extra Bond to it.
You know, this this color with the milk paint looks very similar to those enamel door.
Once we seal that, it's going to look, the white with the blue is going to look very much like all the enameled signs that we saw in France.
So we'll let that dry, and we'll distress it a little because it's only one coat of the water lily.
Not water lily.
No,
Blue
this
iris?
is the blue iris. I get those two mixed up. I haven't used them a lot. They're new. But it's got some little peekaboos brush strokes, but once we distress that, that'll mostly go away because, I mean, I got basically one coat coverage. Down here on these slats, it didn't cover quite as well because I was having to brush more.
Yeah, we'll add an extra coat to any area that it's streaky, and then we'll distress it, and then it'll all get sealed. We'll spray some Big Top on it. So, all right. Hopefully that helps you guys figure out with stenciling, kind of some tips and tricks. Really, the biggest thing is a really great stencil brush and offloading it to where your brush is almost dry. Be super patient with it, and you'll get a nice crisp edge on your stencil. Anytime you get bleeding underneath, it's because either your stencil brush wasn't correct, like it wasn't a good one, or you had too much paint on your brush. Those are the only 2 reasons you're going to get it. So if you keep getting it, just keep adjusting those things till you get it just right.
So someone asked if Debbie's going to be on our live next Saturday night.
You know she is.
We're going to, after the grand opening, we're going to go hit up all the thrift stores that are close, and we'll show you all the things we find with Debbie.
Yeah, and Debbie says she's bringing an extra suitcase, so you'll get to see our haul, plus all the things that Debbie has purchased to take home. So it'll be a great live. Make sure you guys hit notifications. Hit up JamiRayVintage.com for the paint and products used today. We have Blue Iris, Apothecary, and we use Milk Paint and Flour Sack, and then those JRV stencil brushes and Paint Pixie paint brushes. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
I need to go to bed.
Now we need to go
Good
find a
night. Love you
burger.
guys.
Gotta go get a hamburger.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna
Catch you guys later.